Hackers are not magicians. They don't just open their computer systems and instantly hack into people's computers. Come on, forget about the movies. It just doesn't happen that way. Hackers follow a series of steps to attack and compromise people's computers. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the series of steps that hackers follow to attack and compromise people's computers. I am Faisal from Phoenix Academy. The series of steps that hackers follow to attack and compromise a system is referred to as the cyber kill chain. These steps include reconnaissance, weaponization, delivery, exploitation, installation, command and control, and act on objectives. The initial of this word is used to form the mnemonic "Real women get engineers in commando armor" for easy recall. Reconnaissance is the first stage of the cyber kill chain. Reconnaissance basically means information gathering. Reconnaissance stage is where the hackers spend most of their time. Reconnaissance might either be active reconnaissance or passive reconnaissance. Active reconnaissance is where the hackers actively indulges the target in order to gather information about the target. Passive reconnaissance, on the other hand, involves using publicly available tools. These tools are often called OSINT, open source intelligence tools. For active reconnaissance, hackers make use of host discovery tools such as Nmap and vulnerability scanners such as Nessus, OpenBus, and Nikto. For passive reconnaissance, hackers make use of tools such as Shodan, Census, Multigo, and social media sites, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and many other social media sites. The next stage after the reconnaissance stage is the weaponization stage. Now this is where the hacker crafts a malicious payload ideal for the target, having gathered information about the target during the reconnaissance stage. A payload is basically a Trojan backdoor that, when executed on the target's computer, will connect back to the hacker machine and enable the hacker to have access to the victim computer. Tools such as FatRat, Veil evasion, and phantom evasion are used to generate malicious payloads. The next stage after the weaponization phase is the delivery stage. Now this is where the hacker will now deliver that malicious payload to the target. A method of delivery regularly employed by hackers is phishing technique. And a more targeted phishing technique employed is called spear phishing. Now, having gathered information about the target during the reconnaissance phase, he will now make use of social engineering technique and now social engineer the victim into downloading and running that malicious payload on his or her computer. Once the target downloads and installs the malicious payload, now the payload will now look for a vulnerability on the target's computer, exploit the vulnerability to enable the hacker instantly gain access to the victim's computer. Then the payload will now install itself on the target's computer. At this stage, the hacker is now in control of the victim's computer, and he can remotely execute command on the victim computer using attacking tools such as Metasploit, enabled by the command and control channel created. Depending on his objectives, the hacker can remotely execute commands that will enable him to download files from the victim computer and offload other malicious programs such as a keylogger that will capture all the keystrokes that the victim types on his computer keyboard, and many other malicious activities at this stage. An attack will be client-side attack or server-side attack. A client-side attack is a type of attack where the hacker indulges the target. This is where a client-side attack is where the hacker will now craft a malicious payload and then send the payload to the victim, social engineer him into downloading and executing the payload on his or her computer. Server-side attack, on the other hand, the hacker does not indulge the victim. He basically scans the IP address of the victim's computer with a vulnerability scanner to find vulnerability and then find and exploit the vulnerability and enable him to gain access onto the target's computer. Thank you for taking your time to watch my video, and I hope you find it useful. If you do, please click on the like button and click on the subscribe button so as to get notified whenever I upload a new video. To find more information about Phoenix Academy, visit our website, and to find more information about me, visit my personal website. I will see you soon.